Hello, everyone. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating, in-depth exploration that takes us from the warm, humid heartlands of cocoa plantations all the way to the high-tech, climate-controlled factories where one of the world's most iconic candies is produced. We're talking about M&Ms, those brightly colored candy-coated chocolates that have not only delighted millions across the globe for decades, but also embedded themselves in pop culture, international cuisine, and even fine art installations. If you've ever held a handful of M&Ms, you might have wondered how they achieve that perfect uniformity, those vibrant colors, that irresistible crunch, and that tiny M printed on every single piece. You might have marveled at how you can open a bag of M&Ms virtually anywhere in the world and experience the same familiar taste, texture, and aroma. You know, it's actually easier to find M&Ms than that missing sock from last month's laundry. If only socks had candy shells and bright colors, right? Consider a family in Singapore, a group of students in South Africa, or a traveling tourist in Canada. Each can open a bag of M&Ms, pour them into their hand, and instantly recognize the same flavors and colors, creating a shared experience that transcends borders. This uniformity is not accidental, but rather the result of deeply refined production processes, logistical planning, and quality control systems. For instance, imagine an M&M's tasting panel comparing samples from a US factory and a European plant, ensuring they taste identical. These meticulous steps guarantee that an M&M in Paris matches one in New York or Sydney, making it a universal treat that binds cultures together through flavor. Over the next extended journey, longer and richer than ever before, we'll dive deep into every stage of the M&M's production process. We'll start with the source, the fragile cocoa trees that flourish in tropical climates, and the farmers who coax the best flavors from their precious beans. We'll follow these beans to processing facilities where they're transformed into smooth chocolate liquor, then refined, conched, and blended into the signature chocolate that M&Ms are known for. We'll uncover the secrets of forming those tiny chocolate cores, explore the delicate art of candy shell creation, discover how precise color consistency is achieved, and marvel at the intricate, split-second engineering required to print that iconic M on billions of candies per year. Think of it like tiny chocolate ninjas training in secret dojo-like factories, each preparing for its grand mission, to become the perfectly shaped core that's as uniform as a row of marching toy soldiers. Picture an intricate network of supply lines with cocoa beans traveling by ship from Ivory Coast to Europe, then by train or truck to specialized chocolate refineries. Consider a technician in a quality lab slicing a sample bean to check for proper fermentation, or a microsensor that monitors humidity levels in a factory's coating room. By visualizing each link in this chain, from tropical plantations to spotless industrial plants, we gain a profound respect for the care and detail poured into every piece of candy. Our story begins with a spark of innovation in 1941. The Mars Company introduced M&Ms with a singular goal in mind: to create a candy that soldiers could carry into battle zones without melting in their pockets. This innovative concept quickly caught on. M&Ms soon conquered the home front too, and by the time the post-war era was in full swing, they had secured their place in snack bowls, holiday stockings, and kitchen cupboards across the United States. Over the following decades, they went global, spreading to over 100 countries and evolving into a symbol of international snacking culture. M&Ms have continued to diversify, adding peanut, peanut butter, crispy, caramel, pretzel, and countless limited edition flavors that capture seasonal trends, cultural preferences, and consumer curiosity. Imagine a tin of M&Ms making its way into a soldier's ration kit during World War II, providing a momentary sweet respite from the harsh realities of the battlefield. Fast forward to the 1950s, when families settled down in front of newly popular television sets, passing around a bowl of these candies during a family movie night. Over time, M&Ms become a universal language of sweetness, from Japanese convenience stores that feature rare seasonal flavors to Brazilian supermarkets where peanut M&Ms sit alongside local snacks. At every turn, M&Ms adapt and thrive, reflecting the evolving tastes of the global community. Despite their modern popularity, M&Ms are rooted in an ancient ingredient, cocoa. Cocoa's history spans thousands of years, from the rituals of pre-Columbian civilizations to the European chocolate boom of the Industrial Age. Today, most cocoa originates in regions close to the equator, West Africa, Southeast Asia, and parts of Latin America, where the climate remains warm and humid year-round. Cocoa trees are delicate, sensitive to temperature fluctuations and soil composition. Farmers and their families dedicate their lives to nurturing these trees, pruning branches for optimal sunlight, monitoring rainfall, and preventing pests and diseases. Harvesting involves checking the color and feel of cocoa pods, each containing dozens of cocoa beans embedded in sweet, white pulp. With practiced skill, farmers slice the pods open and scoop out the beans for fermentation. Consider a cocoa farmer in Ghana who rises before dawn to inspect the orchard, adjusting irrigation channels or applying natural pest remedies. In Indonesia, a family cooperative may share knowledge passed down through generations, debating the optimal time to harvest pods, while children help carefully turn the beans during drying. These personal stories highlight that behind every M&M lies a tapestry of human dedication, cultural knowledge, and a commitment to preserving ancient agricultural traditions. Fermentation is a vital step. Without it, chocolate would lack complexity and depth. Under layers of banana leaves or inside specially designed wooden boxes, naturally occurring yeasts and bacteria work their magic. Over several days, the beans heat up, break down sugars, and develop the intricate flavor precursors that will eventually blossom into chocolate's characteristic richness. After fermentation, the beans dry in the sun for about a week, with farmers turning them regularly for even results. These beans are then packed and shipped overseas, bridging continents in a global supply chain that unites small-scale farmers with multinational confectionery giants. Imagine rows of cocoa beans spread out on wooden racks under the tropical sun, with a farmer periodically walking between them, using a wooden rake to turn the beans, just as their father and their grandfather before them once did. By doing so, they ensure each bean receives balanced exposure to sunlight and air. Within the beans, subtle chemical transformations are underway, setting the stage for the chocolatey notes we crave. By the time these beans make it to a chocolate processing facility, they carry a distinct terroir, reflecting the soil, climate, and care invested by the farming community. At chocolate processing facilities, cocoa beans are meticulously cleaned and roasted. Roasting is both art and science. The time and temperature curves, closely guarded trade secrets, define the chocolate's aroma and fundamental flavor profile. Once roasted, the beans are cracked and winnowed, removing their husks to reveal cocoa nibs. Grinding nibs produces chocolate liquor, pure, unadulterated chocolate in liquid form. This is then mixed with sugar, milk powder, and carefully chosen fats to create the chocolate used in M and M's. Each ingredient has a purpose. Sugar adds sweetness and structure. Milk powder contributes a mellow, creamy undertone, and particular fats influence melt-in-your-mouth consistency. The Mars Company has honed this recipe over decades, ensuring that M and M's maintain their signature flavor no matter where or when you enjoy them. Consider a chocolate technologist monitoring a sophisticated computer display. They are watching temperature graphs, adjusting roast times by mere seconds to achieve the desired profile. In another room, a tasting panel examines a spoonful of freshly milled chocolate liquor, searching for floral notes or hints of nuttiness. For example, one batch might be too acidic and require a subtle tweak in roast time. Another batch might need a slightly different blend of cocoa beans sourced from both Ghana and Ecuador to achieve the perfect complexity. Through such nuanced adjustments, the final chocolate in M and M's attains a reliable and beloved standard. But chocolate alone isn't enough to create an M&M. The candy's iconic form requires more steps. First, the chocolate mixture must be formed into tiny cores. High-speed machinery either molds or drips chocolate into small button-like shapes that are cooled until solid. For peanut M&Ms, an already roasted and seasoned peanut is rolled in layers of chocolate until it's fully encased. Quality control at this stage ensures each core is uniform in size, shape, and weight. Automated cameras and sensors check for deviations, while human technicians remain on standby, ready to intervene if subtle adjustments are needed. It's a remarkable interplay between advanced robotics and the human eye, between program precision and intuitive craftsmanship. Imagine a production line where thousands of chocolate droplets form perfect little discs in minutes. Nearby, peanuts are tumbled within chocolate drums, gradually building up a smooth, chocolatey coat. A technician might pause the line momentarily to fine-tune the chocolate viscosity or cool the environment by a fraction of a degree. In another corner, a calibration tool confirms that each M&M core meets strict dimensional standards. These exacting demands ensure that when you grab a handful of M&Ms, each candy feels and tastes consistent, a testament to the harmony of human oversight and mechanical efficiency. Next comes one of the most technically challenging parts, the creation of the candy shell. This step, known as panning, has roots in confectionery traditions dating back centuries. Today, large rotating pans or drums, much like oversized cement mixers, tumble the chocolate centers while operators slowly add a sugar-based syrup. Layer by layer, this syrup dries and hardens, forming a crunchy shell that protects the chocolate inside from melting and adds that trademark snap when you bite down. Panning requires balancing temperature, humidity, and airflow. The syrup must be applied in ultra-thin coats, drying evenly to avoid lumps. Too much syrup and the candies clump together. Too little and the shells won't form the desired thickness. Environmental conditions such as seasonal humidity changes can prompt micro-adjustments. Veteran pan operators know how to read the candy's behavior, making this step both technologically advanced and deeply artisanal. Picture a craftsman standing over a massive panning drum, listening to the subtle rustle of candies tumbling against stainless steel. They might adjust the airflow by just a few percentage points or slightly tilt the drum to ensure that syrup coats every core evenly. On extremely humid days, a fine-tuned dehumidification system kicks in, while on cooler days, a gentler airflow might be sufficient. A digital control panel displays temperature and moisture readouts in real time, yet the operator still relies on intuition, perhaps gleaned from decades of experience, to decide when to add the next syrup layer. Consider a batch of M&Ms destined for a special holiday release. The pan operator, knowing the final color scheme and shell thickness required, might adapt their technique, ensuring these candies deliver both the expected crunch and the right visual impact. Coloring the shells is another nuanced step. While M&Ms started with a limited color palette, today's rainbow includes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and brown. Food-safe dyes are incorporated into the final coating layers, and factories maintain strict recipes to achieve consistent hues. Consumers expect their red M&Ms to be the same shade of red every single time they open a bag. Delivering this reliability requires careful ingredient sourcing, monitoring dye strength, and adjusting for any supplier variations. Over the years, M&Ms have responded to public sentiment and food regulations by refining their colorants, exploring more natural dyes, and adjusting the overall color mix. Some limited edition offerings introduce new colors or patterns, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Picture a quality technician holding up a sample of red M&Ms under a color-calibrated light, comparing it against a standardized chart. If the shade is slightly off, a minute adjustment in dye concentration is made. Another batch may include promotional colors. Imagine a theme package featuring pastel hues for Easter or neon shades for a summer music festival. The challenge is ensuring that a limited edition teal M&M looks exactly like the marketing department's approved prototype. In some cases, labs experiment with natural plant-based pigments. For example, a test batch might incorporate spirulina for a green tint or beets for a reddish hue. These experiments not only expand the brand's artistic palette, but also cater to evolving consumer demands for more natural ingredients. One cannot discuss M&Ms without mentioning the printing of the signature M on every candy. This tiny letter, stamped with food-grade ink, transforms a mere candy into a brand ambassador. Consider the engineering challenge here. Millions of candies pass through printing machines daily. Each candy must align perfectly with a tiny press that applies the M at the exact moment it rolls by. Specialized cameras and sensors guide this process, ensuring minimal errors. If a candy shifts slightly off position, or if the ink flow is disrupted, the piece is removed. The precision is astonishing, akin to mass-producing tiny works of edible art. The M not only identifies the brand, but assures consumers of the product's authenticity and quality. Visualize a conveyor system moving at breakneck speed, carrying thousands of M&Ms per minute. High-speed cameras track each candy's orientation, adjusting the printing mechanism in milliseconds if needed. A single drop in air pressure or an unexpected vibration could misalign the printer stamp. Thus, sensors instantly relay data to microprocessors that compensate, ensuring the printed M remains crisp and centered. In another room, technicians run ink viscosity tests, confirming that the printing fluid is the ideal consistency. Sometimes, experimental fonts or special characters are tested for limited runs. Imagine a promotion for a movie release featuring a tiny icon or letter that pairs with the traditional M. This synergy between technology and brand identity transforms a simple sweet into a recognizable symbol worldwide. Flavor variety has long been a cornerstone of M&M's success. Peanut M&Ms, introduced in the 1950s, brought a new dimension of texture and flavor and remain immensely popular. Over time, new varieties like peanut butter, caramel, crispy, and pretzel have catered to changing consumer palates. Some markets receive exclusive or experimental flavors, such as mint, cherry, or coffee-infused versions. Launching a new flavor involves extensive research and development. Food scientists test how well the center material interacts with the chocolate and shell, adjusting recipes until they achieve the right balance. Limited edition flavors often align with holidays, cultural events, or collaborations with entertainment franchises, offering fun, ephemeral experiences that encourage sharing and social media buzz. Imagine a team of food scientists in a state-of-the-art test kitchen, carefully measuring how much caramel should be injected into a candy core before it overwhelms the chocolate's natural sweetness. In another scenario, they consider adding a hint of chili powder for a spicy, region-specific variety. Each experimental batch is sampled by a tasting panel whose members might describe subtle notes. This peanut butter core is too salty, or the coffee flavor needs to be slightly stronger. Once a final formula is approved, pilot production runs ensure the new variety can be scaled up without losing its unique taste. Consider the excitement of unveiling a limited edition pumpkin spice M&M in autumn, or a rose-flavored variant for a Valentine's promotion, each telling a story through flavor and texture. The scale at which M&Ms are produced is mind-boggling. Massive factories run around the clock with multiple shifts of workers ensuring continuous operation. Sophisticated inventory systems predict demand so that production lines run efficiently and minimal stock goes to waste. Real-time analytics monitor everything from chocolate viscosity to shell thickness. If an anomaly arises, perhaps a slight variance in sugar particle size or a fluctuation in roasting temperatures, engineers can respond instantly. Some factories even use predictive maintenance algorithms that anticipate machinery breakdowns before they occur, scheduling repairs at optimal times and avoiding costly downtime. Envision rows of stainless steel machinery extending for hundreds of feet. Overhead walkways give engineers a bird's-eye view of production lines, while computer terminals display live data feeds. A technician might notice a spike in temperature on one line and issue a command to adjust cooling systems. In the packaging area, robotic arms swiftly fill bags, seal them, and print expiration dates. If a maintenance alert signals that a motor's vibration pattern is off, a crew of specialists stands ready to swap it out during a brief production lull. This orchestration of technology and human ingenuity ensures that every hour, countless M&Ms emerge consistently perfect, prepared to journey from the factory floor to store shelves across continents. Amid all this automation, human skill and intuition remain invaluable. Quality assurance technicians sample products at various stages, not just visually, but also through tasting panels. A team of chocolate tasters, each trained to detect subtle flavor deviations, ensures the final product adheres to a well-defined flavor and texture standard. Their refined palates detect changes in sweetness, bitterness, mouthfeel, or aroma that might slip past the most advanced machines. This collaboration between cutting-edge technology and human expertise exemplifies the best of both worlds. The result is a candy that tastes just as good in Tokyo as it does in Toronto. Consider a tasting panel gathered in a quiet, odor-free room wearing white lab coats and sipping room temperature water between samples to cleanse their palates. They debate over fractional differences in cocoa intensity or a whisper of excessive sweetness. If a panelist flags a subtle off note, perhaps a hint of smoky bitterness, the manufacturing team investigates whether the roasting time or bean source needs adjustment. This iterative feedback loop ensures consistency. Such a process might be repeated with each batch, verifying that what a consumer savors in Los Angeles is identical to what someone enjoys in London or Melbourne. By blending human sensory evaluation with automated quality checks, M&M's maintain the trust and loyalty of candy lovers worldwide. No modern food story would be complete without addressing sustainability and social responsibility. Mars, the company behind M&M's, has publicly committed to sourcing cocoa more responsibly. Through certification programs and partnerships, they support cocoa farmers in improving crop yields, diversifying their income, and adopting environmental best practices. Investments in sustainable agriculture not only secure the future cocoa supply, but also improve the livelihoods of farming communities. Meanwhile, within the factories, efforts to reduce water usage, cut greenhouse gas emissions, and experiment with eco-friendly packaging reflect broader environmental stewardship. Given the massive global reach of M&M's, even modest improvements in efficiency or packaging can have a tremendous positive impact. Picture solar panels installed on factory rooftops, helping reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Inside the facility, water recycling systems capture and reuse rinse water, while engineers develop thinner, biodegradable wrappers. On the farming side, teaching better fermentation techniques might boost flavor complexity and yield, helping farmers earn more for their beans. Imagine a community well project funded by Mars, providing clean water access to a village that cultivates cocoa. These real-world changes demonstrate that behind each M&M, there's a striving towards ethical and environmental responsibility. Over time, small steps accumulate into a significant global influence, ensuring that future generations can continue to enjoy M&Ms with a clear conscience. In parallel, consumer preferences continue to evolve. Health-conscious trends and dietary restrictions drive innovation, prompting M&Ms to reduce artificial additives, explore natural colorings, and experiment with sugar-free or reduced sugar variants. Gluten-free or nut-free facilities may be developed to meet the needs of particular markets or dietary segments. Although M&Ms remain a treat, an indulgence rather than a health food, the brand's responsiveness to these concerns shows its willingness to adapt. This flexibility ensures M&Ms stay relevant, appealing to new generations while retaining longtime fans. Picture a product development team reviewing consumer feedback from social media. Some request vegan options, others ask for lower sugar levels. In response, food scientists might try a plant-based milk powder alternative in trial batches or experiment with non-nut ingredients to create a safer product for those with severe allergies. For instance, a sugar-reduced M&M might rely on a carefully chosen sugar substitute that doesn't compromise taste or texture. Across markets, limited edition releases may use natural food coloring sourced from fruits or vegetables, providing a cleaner label. By balancing tradition and innovation, M&Ms remain a trusted brand for older generations while enticing younger, health-conscious consumers with new and improved offerings. Culturally, M&Ms hold an unparalleled position. In Japan, for instance, consumers appreciate seasonal and region-specific flavors. In Europe, Promotional campaigns might tie M&Ms to international sporting events or music festivals. In the United States, holiday-themed color mixes, pastels for Easter, red and green for Christmas, signal the candy's embeddedness in cultural rituals. The brand's humorous and personable mascots, red, yellow, green, blue, orange, and brown, are instantly recognizable, bridging language barriers and reinforcing a sense of familiarity. They appear in commercials, theme park attractions, and digital content, making M&Ms more than just candy. They're cultural icons, conversation starters, and tokens of nostalgia. Imagine strolling through a Tokyo department store and spotting a limited edition Sakura-flavored M&M for springtime celebrations, or walking into a Berlin kiosk during the World Cup to find special edition M&Ms decked out in team colors. In the US, a Halloween mix might feature black and orange shells, while in Brazil, carnival-themed packages dazzle consumers with bright, festive hues. The M&M characters themselves become cultural ambassadors, featured in interactive social media campaigns, cameo appearances at global events, and even licensed merchandise. Whether it's a plush toy of the green character or a digital avatar used in a marketing app, these playful figures help maintain a sense of continuity and global community centered around a shared love for M&Ms. Marketing and consumer psychology play essential roles in M&M's enduring popularity. The candy's small, poppable size and variety of colors tap into the human love for small rewards and sensory variety. Research shows that bright colors can influence mood, and the tactile pleasure of holding several M&Ms at once can enhance enjoyment. Limited edition flavors create scarcity and excitement, encouraging collectors and fans to hunt for rare packages. Social media amplifies these phenomena, turning a new M&M's flavor or packaging design into a trending topic. Consider how a special mystery flavor release sparks online debates, with fans posting taste test videos and trying to guess the secret ingredient. Meanwhile, a clever marketing campaign might encourage customers to share their M&M color preferences on social media, generating user-driven content and fostering brand engagement. Psychologically, the blend of colors, crunch, and sweetness delivers a multi-sensory experience that can lift one's mood after a tough day at work or school. The portability of a small packet, easily slipped into a purse or backpack, further enhances their appeal. This convergence of psychological and cultural cues ensures that M&Ms remain not just a candy, but an emotionally resonant part of people's daily lives. Innovation continues to drive M&Ms forward. Artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies are increasingly integrated, predicting demand and guiding supply chain logistics. Imagine a system that can forecast the impact of a rainy cocoa harvest season on flavor nuances months later, or adjust printing machine parameters based on minute environmental changes in real time. The future may also bring more personalization. Perhaps consumers could order custom color blends for weddings, birthdays, or corporate events, or request special prints or messages instead of the standard M. If 3D printing candy technology matures, we might see entirely new shapes or layered confections that push M&Ms beyond their traditional format. Picture a smartphone app linked to the M&M's factory system, allowing customers to design their own color palette and have a batch made to order. A couple planning their wedding might choose M&Ms and colors matching their theme, each printed with their initials or a tiny heart. Meanwhile, an AI-driven inventory system might predict a spike in demand for green M&Ms due to a major festival in Ireland, or anticipate a dip in peanut supplies due to weather patterns in peanut-growing regions. Even the shapes could evolve. Imagine a 3D printed M&M with multiple chocolate layers, or a hollow core filled with a surprise flavor gel. This embrace of technology and personalization ensures that the brand remains a dynamic player in a rapidly changing world. Tourism and transparency also hold a growing appeal. Some M&M's factories offer guided tours, though carefully controlled to protect trade secrets, letting visitors glimpse the dazzling choreography of machines and workers. Seeing the cleanliness, precision, and care firsthand fosters trust and loyalty. For those who can't visit in person, virtual tours or augmented reality experiences may emerge, allowing fans to step inside a factory from the comfort of their homes. It's yet another way M&Ms can connect with consumers, turning a candy into a narrative, a learning experience, and a moment of wonder. Picture a guided tour through a glass walkway suspended above a packaging line, families peering down as robotic arms fill bags with perfect precision. A tour guide might explain the origins of the cocoa beans, the science behind the candy shells, or the story of how M&Ms got their name. In the future, augmented reality headsets could transform a living room into a virtual factory floor, with interactive diagrams popping up as viewers move around. Online content might include interviews with farmers, chocolate experts, or color technicians. These immersive experiences transform consumers into informed participants, deepening their appreciation for the complexity hidden in a simple bag of candy. The cultural resonance of M&Ms extends beyond snack time. Artists have used M&Ms in installations, bakers decorate cakes with their colorful shells, and charities incorporate them into fundraisers. M&Ms have even been sent into space, representing a sweet reminder of home for astronauts orbiting hundreds of miles above Earth's surface. This versatility speaks to the brand's adaptability and the way it has ingrained itself in our collective imagination. Imagine a sculptor painstakingly arranging thousands of M&Ms by color to form a large-scale mosaic, or a wedding cake featuring cascades of vibrant shells tumbling down multiple tiers. In space, astronauts might use M&Ms as a playful demonstration of microgravity, catching them as they float through the cabin. Meanwhile, a local charity might host a guessing game. How many M&Ms are in this jar? With proceeds going to a worthy cause. A culinary class might have students create custom dessert toppings with M&Ms, exploring color theory and texture. Each scenario reveals M&Ms as more than candy. They're creative mediums, cultural connectors, and even scientific curiosities. As you hold your next handful of M&Ms, consider the tapestry of relationships and innovations behind them. Farmers tending cocoa trees pass their knowledge down through generations, while engineers thousands of miles away refine machinery and control systems to fraction of a second precision. R&D specialists tweak recipes to ensure consistent flavor year after year. Marketers listen to consumer feedback, adjusting flavors, colors, and packaging designs. Sustainability experts push for greener practices, and taste testers confirm each batch meets exacting flavor benchmarks. Reflect on the layers of expertise: an agronomist assisting farmers to improve their yields, a software engineer optimizing AI-driven logistics, a packaging designer reducing plastic usage, or a cultural liaison suggesting flavors appealing to local tastes in new markets. Each link in this global chain contributes to a collective outcome: a tiny candy that delivers joy. Perhaps consider the M&Ms you're about to eat as ambassadors of human cooperation, blending old-world farming traditions with cutting-edge science and marketing savvy. In a world of constant change, M&Ms remain a comforting constant, a sweet link to childhood memories, a reliable party snack, a treat to share among friends. They embody the harmony of tradition and technology, combining centuries-old chocolate-making knowledge with state-of-the-art data analytics. From cocoa farms to retail shelves, from intricate panning machines to AI-driven quality controls, M&Ms represent the best of global collaboration and human ingenuity. Think of a grandparent offering a bag of M&Ms to a grandchild, passing along a simple tradition through generations. Consider the factories humming with controlled energy, connecting remote cocoa fields to your local store. Even as consumer tastes shift and technologies advance, M&Ms remain a steadfast reminder that human creativity, adaptability, and craftsmanship can produce something truly timeless. The candies bridge generations, geographies, and lifestyles, creating a quiet unity in a rapidly evolving world. If you found this journey enriching, if you learned something new about the complexity that turns raw cocoa beans into the brightly colored candies we love, consider subscribing to our channel. We'll continue to explore how everyday items are made, revealing the extraordinary stories behind the ordinary objects that populate our lives. Meanwhile, the next time you pop an M&M into your mouth, savor its delicate crunch and balanced chocolate sweetness. Appreciate that it's the product of countless decisions, inventions, and passions converging in one tiny, perfect bite. And remember that as we celebrate the delicious simplicity of M&Ms, we're really celebrating the astonishing complexity of the world that makes them possible. Before clicking away, imagine what else hides behind everyday products. The cereal you eat at breakfast, the smartphone in your hand, or the shoes on your feet, all carry hidden histories of craftsmanship, innovation, and collaboration. By subscribing, you join a community of curious minds eager to uncover these stories. With each new video, we'll peel back another layer of the global tapestry connecting producers and consumers. Until then, every M&M you enjoy serves as a tiny reminder that the simplest pleasures often emerge from the most intricate processes, and that discovery can be as satisfying as the taste itself.